In a recent video, I said to you how I think that the iPad comes to life when it's used as a tablet, the way it was originally designed. But there will be days that you've got a lot of work to get through, that it'd be best to use it with the keyboard and possibly with the pencil as well. Well, did you know that just like on a Mac, there are keyboard shortcuts for an iPad that turn your iPad into a productivity beast? Now, I'm not going to try to list all of the keyboard shortcuts for iPad in this video. I'm going to talk about the ones that I use the most. These are the keyboard shortcuts that you actually need. My name's David, and in this video, we're talking iPad keyboard shortcuts. Just for reference, at the top of the video, let me tell you, I am going to be using Apple's Magic Keyboard through this video. Now, it is eye-wateringly expensive. It is hard to justify the price. Of the 3 or 4 keyboards that I've used, all of them prove to be glitchy in one way or another, but the Apple Magic Keyboard is about as good as they get. I also happen to really like the key travel. It's super comfortable to type on. The keyboard's so flat to the desk. I love the outer material, it's very tactile, and it's actually wearing up and lasting pretty well too. It recently came to Las Vegas with me, and also I've had it for about 18 months now, and it still looks pretty good. So although it's expensive, it's kind of almost justifiable. Now, before we get on to talking about the keyboard shortcuts, I just want to point out that row of function keys that you've got on your iPad. A lot was made about it when the new Magic Keyboard was released, and there's about 4 of those function keys, apart from the volume ones, that I use all of the time. Make sure you've checked out Expose, Search, the Focus mode, and also the one for the voice assistant. Those are the ones that I use the most on that row of function keys. Now, as I said, I am using Apple's Magic Keyboard. The keys that I'm going to use through the course of this video, I think will be common to most third-party keyboards as well, but it might just be worth checking. And right from the get-go, there are some keys, 5 keys that you really need to make sure you're familiar with that are going to help you turn your iPad into that productivity beast that I spoke about. That's the Shift, the Globe, Control, Option, and Command keys. Make sure you know where they are because they're the ones that we are going to be looking at and talking about the most in the course of this video. There's one that's really straightforward. It's super handy to use using the Globe key and the H. That takes you straight back to your home screen. No matter what you're working on, if you want to get back to your home screen, say if I wanted to get to my NAS server quickly, I could just press Globe and H, and that takes me back to my home screen. The Globe and C button, that opens up the control center. And it's worth bearing in mind that if you use those same options, Globe and C for instance, that will also shut the control center as well. Just like on a Mac, I'm sure you've used this before. If you press Command and Spacebar, that will open up Search. It even does it on the lock screen as well. And you can also use the search icon in that row of function keys as well. The thing with iPad, that there's generally more than one way to do the same task. It kind of runs through the course of an iPad. The Globe and the N key, well, that's going to show your notifications on your lock screen as well. If you use the Globe and Q, now this is an interesting one. I'm a writer and also being a content creator, I have ideas come into my mind all of the time. So let's say I'm writing something here in Ulysses and I suddenly have an idea for a video title or the description. If I just press the Globe and Q button, that brings up a quick note. Think of it like a sticky note or a memo. And of course, with quick notes, they get saved to the quick notes section of your notes app, so you can go back and find them there. That one, if you're the kind of person that has these scattergun brains and thoughts that just suddenly come to you, try using that when you're working on the iPad, the Globe and Q button. If you're in full screen of any particular app and you can't see your dock, remember the dock I said you need to personalize? Sometimes you just can't see it. A quick way to find your dock is the Globe and A key. And if you press the Globe and A key again, of course, the dock will go away. The Globe plus M, that'll bring up the menu bar. So let's say you're in an app and you want to look at that menu bar that was new to iPad OS 26, which is just beginning to dawn on me now quite how good it honestly was. Well, if you press the Globe and M key, that brings up your file, your file menu at the top, and you can go through Window, File, App Settings. It's a really, again, the idea of keyboard shortcuts is to create less friction for yourself during a working day. And I promise you, once you've used these for a few days, it will become muscle memory. You'll be using them all the time. I might even try to create a PDF and leave it for you to download. If I do that, I'll make a note of it in the description. If you press the Globe, Shift, and A key, that will open up your app library. So if there are any apps that you know you've got on your iPad, but they're not on your home screen or in your dock, that's a quick way to get your app library. And if you press the Command and Tab arrow, very similar again to a Mac. That will show you a list of icons that you've got open on your Mac and on your iPad, and you can just press the tab key to go through the various apps until you get to the one that you want. If you use the globe and up arrow, that does a similar thing. That will show you all of the open apps, but in a tile format. It will show the actual apps, and again, you can just choose the app that you want then and open it up. If you use the globe, control, and up arrow, that will make an app half size. I don't know if it's not something I use regularly, but occasionally it's kind of useful if I want to have an app at the top and an app at the bottom of the screen. You can just press the globe, control, and the up arrow, and that will make it half the size. And if you press this is an interesting one actually. This is for if you want to have something in split view. There's even a shortcut for that. If you press the globe, control, and the left arrow, that will make your app go to the left of the screen. And then obviously, as you've worked out, you could then press globe, control, and a right arrow, and you can open an app in split view to the other side of the screen. And if you press the globe and the S button, that will open up the voice assistant. In certain apps, such as Safari, there are some shortcuts there too that might be useful for you to know, very similar to the Mac. If you've worked on a Mac for any length of time, some of these will be familiar to you, but if you're only using an iPad and want to get the most out of your iPad, and that's what this series of videos has been about, helping you to get the most out of your iPad. If you press Command and R in Safari, that will reload the page that you want. So say you've got a page that's rendering slowly, you want to try reloading it, Command and R is the quickest way to do that. Command, Shift, and R. Now, if you're on a website such as mine, talkingtechandaudio.com, that supports reader mode, if you press Command, Shift, and R, that will take you into reader mode. Now, let's just suppose that the text is a little bit too small for you. You can enlarge the font on there as well. Command and the plus key will make the font bigger, or Command and minus will make it smaller. And to go back to the original size, the native size of the font for that app, it's just Command and 0. In the Mail app, again, similar to working on a Mac, there's a couple of shortcuts there that I like to use all the time. If you've got a number of mailboxes, last week I mentioned about how to find the default mailbox or sort of the default mailbox for yourself on an iPad. Well, let's say you've got 2, 3, 4 email accounts and you want to go through different inboxes. There's a shortcut for that, which is simply Command plus 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and that will take you through your different inboxes. Again, less friction, a quicker way of working. The Command plus Shift plus N, Command Shift N, that will search for new emails. So if you're looking at your email account, you want to check if any new emails have come down, Command Shift N is a quick way to do that. Command Shift and L is a way to flag an email. Now, the way that I process and file emails involves a lot of flagging, different colors and so on, similar to the way that I suggested you could personalize folders in the Files app last week. I use flags a lot with the way that I file and process emails. Obviously, very similar again to a Mac. If you want to search your email inbox, it's just Option, Command, and F to search for any emails that you might want to find out who they're from or on a date searched or so on. Now, that's kind of my top shortcuts. But there's also one other thing I wanted to bring up in this video, a kind of little bonus, and that's the Preview app. It doesn't get spoken about all that often. And there's one particular feature that makes it stand apart and makes it really useful on the iPad. It's available, of course, on a Mac, previously on a Mac for ages. It's also on iOS. But because we've got the pencil on the iPad, there's a function in Preview that is super, super useful. I'm sure, like me, you've had emails with PDFs that you need to sign and return. Well, with an iPad and Preview, it is so simple to do it. And if you haven't got your signature saved, I'm going to show you how to do that on an iPad as well. If you open up the document that you need to save, you'll probably save that to your downloads folder, you'll find it in Preview. Then it's open the document and look for the little logo, this sort of rectangular logo with a pen in it at the top there. Once you see that, tap on it and you'll see at the bottom, you've got a plus icon. Tap on the plus icon, add signature, then add or remove. You can then do your new signature, add it to the list of signatures, and then you can drag it onto that document. And the great thing is you can resize it, you can thicken it slightly. So it's a little bit too scratchy thin. You can effectively stroke it. You can just make it a little bit thicker. You can recolor it. You can do so much with it just to make that signature look professional and correctly positioned. It was always awkward before to try and do that. With Preview on the iPad and with the pencil, it just works so well. So make sure, even if you don't use any of the other functions in Preview, make sure you save a signature. I've told you how to do that now. Save a signature. You'll use it endlessly, I promise you, through the course of a year. I hope you've enjoyed this video. In fact, I know you're enjoying these videos. We're getting good views at the moment. And also, I put up a post on the community last week saying, would you like another iPad video? And you asked for a video about keyboard shortcuts. So I'm doing as I'm told. If you are enjoying these videos, though, maybe you're new to the channel, maybe you're you just got a new iPad and you're finding these videos really useful, do the right thing for me, subscribe. At the moment, we're just under 40,000 subs. I'd love to get to 100,000 subs by the end of the year. And with your help, I've got to keep making good content that you want to see. And if you're kind enough to subscribe, we can get to 100,000 subs. Subs is what makes these channels really fly and makes them grow. I've got loads I want to do for you this year. So with your help, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications as well, because I want you to be the first to know when I upload my weekly video. I'm also making more shorts at the moment as well. So if you haven't checked out my shorts, make sure you take a look at those too. And if you want to get involved with the channel, I send out a totally free video newsletter. Sometimes it's from here in the studio. Sometimes it can be in London or wherever I am in the country. It goes out 2 o'clock every single Sunday afternoon without fail. And in it, I talk about things I can't talk on the video about, what new kit I've bought, what I'm up to, what sponsor I might be talking to, what it's really like to run a YouTube channel and what it's like being here in the studio day in and day out and what the business side of it's like. If that sounds like it could be interesting to you, leave me your email address and there's links to that in the description below. It's talkingtechandaudio.com. You'll receive that free video newsletter. We've also got our own Discord server. I'd love you to become a part of that community too, where like-minded Apple nuts just hang out. If you've got a problem, if you're looking for an answer to a problem that you've got, join our Discord server. It really is a great place to be. And I know that you've been enjoying these iPad videos, so I'm going to leave another iPad video for you to watch now. I'm going to tell you why I think the iPad really does come to life when you start to use it as a tablet. You know, it makes sense.